In this podcast episode, Joe Rogan hosts David Sinclair, a prominent scientist and longevity researcher, as they explore the latest breakthroughs in aging reversal technology, gene therapy, and anti-aging supplements. They discuss cutting-edge science, including epigenetic reprogramming, clinical trials on age-related diseases like glaucoma, the role of AI in drug discovery, and the implications of extending human lifespan. The conversation also touches on lifestyle factors for longevity, ancient civilizations, ethical concerns, AI and robotics, psychedelic medicine, and personal anecdotes on health, parenting, and motivation. David Sinclair, an Australian scientist often jokingly referred to as Sir David, explains his knighthood-like honor, the Order of Australia, and his humble attitude towards ego and status. He describes Australian culture's tall poppy syndrome, emphasizing humility and leveling. He also shares his appreciation for Australian friendliness despite the geographical distance. Sinclair reveals his sobriety journey, now rarely drinking, and discusses health-conscious habits, such as using turmeric-infused coffee to reduce inflammation, showcasing a commitment to longevity principles beyond just scientific research. Sinclair acknowledges the surge in public interest in health optimization and longevity, crediting part of the movement's rise to his best-selling book Lifespan, which sold millions of copies and is now available in over 40 languages. He notes the pandemic's impact on mortality awareness has fueled greater demand for longevity science. People are increasingly experimenting with modalities like cold plunges, sauna, and red light therapy, driven by immediate health benefits alongside long-term goals. Sinclair stresses longevity is ultimately about living better today as a pathway to living longer. The conversation shifts to the scientific possibility of reversing aging, once considered heretical, but now experimentally proven in animals and entering human clinical trials. Sinclair's lab has discovered that aging comes down to cellular identity loss and epigenetic changes, which can be reversed by reinstalling software in the cell. Using an innovative virus-like delivery system carrying specific genes, they aim to reboot cells to a youthful state, initially applying this to treat glaucoma in humans. Sinclair explains their gene therapy technique using a viral capsule to deliver 3 reprogramming genes named OSK, OCT4, SOX2, KF4 to targeted tissues like the eye. Unlike full reprogramming using all 4 Yamanaka factors, excluding one gene, c-MYC prevents loss of cell identity or tumor formation, achieving safe partial rejuvenation to a youthful state. The therapy has shown promise in animal models for restoring vision, regrowing nerves, and treating injuries such as osteoarthritis. Starting with glaucoma patients, where the eye is a contained environment, this therapy seeks to revive damaged retinal cells and restore sight. Joe jokes about the potential dystopian outcomes of such technology, but Sinclair assures extensive safety testing and FDA approval for the eye trials, emphasizing the localized delivery and low risk. They discuss concerns about over-rejuvenation and cancer risk. However, data suggests controlled expression of OSK genes reduces tumors in mice, and the therapy has anti-cancer implications by forcing cancer cells to reclaim normal identity and self-destruct. Sinclair also addresses the challenge of regulating the therapy to stop rejuvenation at a safe 20-something cellular age rather than regressing cells into stem cells. Sinclair highlights how AI has revolutionized biology and drug discovery by enabling rapid screening of trillions of molecules computationally. He describes collaboration with institutions like St. Jude's Hospital to narrow candidates for drugs aimed at aging reversal, drastically cutting timelines from centuries to months. A pill and drink that can mimic gene therapy effects in mice is in development. AI also facilitates measuring cellular age from epigenetic markers, enhancing precision in evaluating therapies and enabling personalized longevity medicine. The conversation covers cognitive aging and neurodegenerative diseases. Sinclair shares that reversing cellular aging in the brain improves learning and memory in mice, even restoring lost memories. This opens the possibility to treat conditions like Alzheimer's by rejuvenating brain cells to a youthful state. He emphasizes that youthfulness allows the body to heal itself across organs, including the brain, where young cells maintain function and prevent degenerative diseases. Expanding beyond aging, Sinclair discusses how the same gene therapy approach can regrow nerves and repair injuries. Research shows injured nerve regeneration in eyes and limbs is possible, with potential applications in arthritis and musculoskeletal injuries. He mentions recent studies demonstrated regrowth of fingertips in mice using just 2 factors, emphasizing that humans retain latent regenerative capabilities that can be activated through therapies. Limb regrowth and full-body rejuvenation could realistically emerge within a few decades. They delve into sensitive territory on government concerns about super soldiers and military applications of genetic engineering. Sinclair reveals U.S. government intervention in blocking large foreign investments linked to his company amid fears of advanced longevity tech falling into adversary hands. The conversation touches on historical, unethical experiments, including Soviet attempts at human-animal hybrids for warfare. They acknowledge the risk of bioweapons development facilitated by AI and gene editing, underscoring the dual-use dilemma of biotechnology advancements. Shifting topics, Sinclair and Rogan discuss the rise of psychedelics for mental health and longevity, including corporate investments in psychedelic pharmaceuticals. They cover ibogaine potential to treat addiction and brain injuries and the development of non-hallucinogenic LSD analogs that retain cognitive benefits. These developments promise safer, more accessible therapies for psychiatric disorders and mental wellness. Sinclair and Rogan also touch on the importance of real human connection compared to AI-driven social interaction, emphasizing the value of authentic relationships for personal growth. The dialogue turns to practical longevity advice. Sinclair champions a mostly plant-based diet but acknowledges the benefits of nutrient-dense meat and cycling between abundance mode for growth and adversity mode for survival. Exercise, particularly strength training, is vital for bone strength, muscle retention, and fall prevention in old age. Sleep quality and stress reduction also play pivotal roles in slowing epigenetic aging. Both share personal habits like fasting, cold exposure, and avoiding excessive alcohol. They discuss mental factors such as meaningful relationships, humor, and social connections as crucial contributors to a longer, healthier life. Joe probes Sinclair on theories about ancient advanced civilizations and longevity. While Sinclair remains cautious, tied to scientific rigor, he concedes that history likely underestimates ancient knowledge or capabilities. He speculates on the exponential progress humanity could make if humans lived hundreds or thousands of years, profoundly altering career paths, relationships, and societal structures. The possibility of long-lived ancient kings and sophisticated technology fuels imagination, but remains speculative from Sinclair's scientific perspective. Sinclair delves into epigenetic clocks, molecular markers based on DNA methylation patterns that track biological aging better than telomere length. He explains how age-related DNA methylation changes can be reset by activating specific genes and enzymes like the TT family, which remove methyl groups and rewind the aging clock. This understanding allows precise measurement of therapy's effect on cellular youth and underpins much of his lab's research on rejuvenation. The discussion includes cosmetic anti-aging applications, such as regrowing human hair from stem cells transplanted onto mice, a breakthrough achieved in Sinclair's laboratory. He describes ongoing work to develop therapies for hair darkening and regeneration, aiming to make it commercially viable for hair transplant alternatives. Red light therapy and certain medications like low-dose tadalafil, Viagra, are also mentioned as supporting blood flow and hair health. Sinclair addresses popular medications affecting longevity or health, including GLP-1 receptor agonists used for weight loss and diabetes. He cautions about emerging evidence linking some GLP-1 drugs to increased risk of rare sudden blindness due to optic nerve stroke and advises careful consideration. Similarly, he discusses conflicting individual experiences with hair loss drugs like dutasteride, which can have serious side effects in some people. This underscores the need for personalized medicine and medical supervision. Extending beyond science, Sinclair and Rogan discuss parenting philosophies and motivation. Sinclair advocates treating children as individuals, recognizing their potential while avoiding harsh disciplinarian approaches. He shares personal anecdotes on fostering openness, encouraging risk-taking, and nurturing curiosity. Both emphasize momentum and personal growth, where small wins build confidence and capability, applying this concept to health, longevity, and lifestyle changes. The conversation highlights AI as a transformative force, enabling rapid data analysis, drug candidate screening, and even identifying fundamental biological mechanisms. A young researcher in Sinclair's lab used AI to find evidence supporting new biology theories. They also consider AI's societal impact, both positive in healthcare advances and negative in areas like bioweapons or information manipulation. The rapid acceleration of discovery powered by AI is one of the most exciting developments in the field. Sinclair discusses his efforts to build a global longevity community via his magazine and podcast Lifespan, aiming to empower public understanding and participation in healthspan extension. He stresses the importance of community in pushing forward funding, awareness, and adoption of longevity science. The magazine provides curated, scientist-written content to cut through misinformation and engage a broad audience. Joe and David share personal usage of red light therapy for vision improvement and anti-aging effects. Red and near-infrared light stimulate mitochondrial function and reduce cellular aging. They discuss home-use devices and light beds, noting the impact on skin, vision, and energy levels. They also touch on hyperbaric oxygen therapy's benefits in extending telomeres, enhancing memory, and promoting tissue repair, attributed to improved blood flow and hormetic stress responses. Sinclair outlines his supplement regimen, including NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide, to boost cellular NAD+ levels, and discusses the synergy with lifestyle practices like exercise and fasting. Joe shares his own experience with ketone supplements and nootropics to enhance cognitive performance during long broadcasts. The discussion includes the importance of stress management, sleep rituals, and balanced nutrient intake to maximize health span. A significant focus is on eye health, with Sinclair emphasizing that vision loss in aging relates to mitochondrial dysfunction and cellular aging of retinal cells. The OSK gene therapy aims to restore youthful function to these cells. They discuss common age-related eye conditions like glaucoma and macular degeneration, and how lifestyle, supplements like lutein, and new therapies can mitigate vision decline. The episode closes with reflections on the societal implications of longevity science, how radically extended healthy human lifespan could reshape careers, relationships, and collective knowledge. Sinclair expresses hope for broad access to therapies and the importance of regulatory evolution to keep pace with discoveries. The discussion touches on ethical debates, AI-enhanced human capacities, and the ongoing quest to make aging a treatable condition rather than an inevitable decline.